Hello student, today I am going to explain you the remaining salient features of the constitution. Now the sixth one, bicameral practice. India has a parliamentary system of governance. In a parliamentary system, the parliament is the supreme authority representing people. The legislature at the union is the parliament. The parliament is bicameral means it has two houses, upper house and the lower house. Upper house is called Rajya Sabha and lower house is known as Lok Sabha. Though the government is carried on in the name of the president at the union and the governor in the states, but the actual administration is carried by the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister at the union and the Chief Minister in the states. The Council of Ministers is responsible to the legislature that comprises representatives of the people. Now, children, remember one thing that the president selects 12 people who are expert and experienced from various fields for Rajya Sabha. And one more thing you should remember that Rajya Sabha is a permanent house because one third of the members retire at the end of every 2 years and the same number of members are re-elected on their place. Thus, each member has a 6 years of tenure. In Rajya Sabha, that is Council of States. The power of Rajya Sabha are less compared to the Lok Sabha, which is special, superior and decisive. Now, the seventh one is independent, impartial, integrated judiciary. The Constitution has provided for the establishment of an independent and impartial judiciary. There is Supreme Court at the top, then there are high courts at states, and under its jurisdiction are the district courts at district level, and at the taluka level there are local and special courts. The judgments of Supreme Court are binding to all the subordinate courts of the nation. But the final decision is vested with Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the protector and the guardian of the Constitution. Now, the eighth one, amendments in Constitution. Compared to other countries' Constitution of India is dynamic. Constitution can be amended as and when required. Constitutional provisions can be amended in three ways. The first one, amendments can be made by a simple majority of members present and voting in the parliament. Second one, certain amendments require a special majority, that is two-thirds majority of members present and voting. And the third one, concerning the union-state relations, the special majority, that is two-thirds, and the concurrence not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. Now, if there is any amendment to be made in the interrelations between union, state structure of or in supreme judiciary, then half of the states from the total state have to give consent. Judgment of court can also bring amendment by the parliament. There will be no change in the basic structure of the constitution. Only simple majority in parliament can bring change in the amendment of the constitution. That's why the constitution is known as the most inconstant and flexible document. But at certain cases, it is not amendable. By simple majority, without the majority consent of the states, it's not amendable. Then two, the mixture of both makes the constitution. Now, the ninth one is universal adult suffrage. In India, we have a system of adult suffrage which is flexible. According to that, any citizen who is above 18 years of age and above possesses right to vote in the election of parliament, legislative assemblies or local self-government bodies without any discrimination of education, property and economic standard. Now the 10th one is Secularism. Children, we have already discussed earlier about secularism in the preamble. In the Constitution, India has been declared as a secular state. People of different religion reside in India. Therefore, the state cannot discriminate any citizen on the basis of religion. No citizen can be given special rights or cannot be deprived of certain rights. The state has to be absolutely impartial and neutral in respect of religion. Only secular state can offer proper or equal treatment towards all citizens. Now, secularism means that the state doesn't interfere in matter of religion or is biased to any specific religion. The state has to be secular and indifferent. Followers of every religion are free to follow and practice their religion of choice. Now, the 11th one is judicial review. Children, you should remember that judicial review is the chief characteristic of the Constitution. Judicial review administers the working of union and the state within jurisdiction. Without disrespecting the powers of parliament, the Constitution has made an effort to harmonize the principles of judicial review. Parliamentary amendments, external orders, ordinances, and judicial judgment are given for judicial review. If the court finds any indiscrepancy in the external orders, ordinances, or judicial judgment, it can stop them by declaring them unconstitutional. Now, the 12th one, fundamental rights and duties. Fundamental rights are conferred to the people of India by the Constitution to live a dignified life. The most valuable capital of our country is in the overall development of nation, which further lies in the fundamental duties and rights. Right to constitutional remedies, and for the children 6 to 14 years of age, right to educate are also made available. Now the 13th one is Directive Principles of the State Policy. Protection of people, security and welfare should be carried out by the states. These principles provide directions for state governance and policy making. So they are called as directive principles. Now the last one is provision for backward sections and tribes. To uplift and include backward sections and tribes and deprived class in the mainstream, there are specific provisions in the Constitution. Reserved seats are allocated in legislature and local self-governing bodies election to provide representations. Reservation quota has been provided for admission in educational institute and government jobs in proportion to their population to provide equal opportunity. Children of backward sections and tribes are given scholarships, basic amenities, and waived fees which come under optimistic policies and shielding policies as per provisions in the Constitution. Now, children, I will discuss the following question answers based on these topics. The first one is which government decide excise and custom, export import tax, income tax, etc. The answer is central government. The next question is which government decide revenue tax, entertainment tax, educational tax, etc. The answer is state government. The next question is whose rule is applicable in the state constitutional crisis? The answer is president. The judgment of which court are binding to all the subordinate courts of the nation? The answer is Supreme Court. Who protects the rights of the citizens? Judiciary. What are the most valuable capital of the democratic country? The answer is fundamental duties and rights. The last question is what special provisions have been made for the development of backward classes and tribal communities? The answer is reservations. Now I hope you have understood this chapter. So please write the textual exercise in your CW. Thank you.